Welcome to Minute Genetics. Today, we'll be exploring genes and alleles, the very foundation of heredity, and how you, me, and every other human being on this planet are unique. A very common misconception is that genes and alleles mean the same thing. However, this cannot be more wrong. To deflate this theory, we must first understand each individual concept. First, let's define a gene. Humans have nearly 23,000 genes. A gene is a stretch of DNA that codes for a protein. These proteins then determine specific traits such as eye color, hair color, and other defining features of humans. While a gene is the basic unit of heredity, it is important to note that in most cases, one gene alone does not code for one trait. On the contrary, alleles are different forms or variations of a gene. Genes are composed of many different alleles, which leads to the appearance of different traits and uniqueness. For simplicity, each organism has two alleles for every gene, one from the mother and one from the father on each chromosome. If the two alleles are the same, they are referred to as homozygous. If they are different, they are considered heterozygous. Alleles may be dominant or recessive. A dominant allele is one that will always be expressed, even if they are only found on one locus. A recessive allele is one that will only be expressed if it is found on both loci. Let's take a look at an example that everybody can relate to: eye color. As mentioned before, a certain gene codes for proteins that control eye color. The eye color is further specified by the variant of the gene, or the allele present, and whether that allele is dominant or recessive. Let the capital B represent the dominant allele, and let the little b represent the recessive allele. In this example, brown eyes are considered to have the dominant allele, which is why they are apparent a majority of the time. However, there are cases where blue-eyed offspring can form, but only if they contain the little b allele at both loci. To be more specific, when two brown-eyed parents are crossed, the child will have a 75% chance of having brown eyes due to the presence of the dominant capital B allele and a 25% chance of having blue eyes due to the presence of the recessive little b allele on both loci. However, if one parent is blue-eyed and the other is brown-eyed, the child will have a 50% chance of having brown eyes and a 50% chance of having blue eyes for the same reasons as mentioned before. So, we come to the final point of our lesson, to correct the misconception that genes and alleles mean the same thing. To do so, let's refer back to our eye color example. Instead of saying I have the gene for blue eyes, which is incorrect and misconceptualized, it is more accurate to say this: my gene expresses the trait for eye color, and my alleles determine the color of my eyes as blue. To conclude, there are a few key things to note. Everybody has the same genes that code for traits such as eye color, but the way and level that they are shown are unique in every individual due to the different expression of alleles. To reiterate, genes are different parts of the DNA that determine genetic traits such as eye color, and alleles are variations of the gene that determine specific characteristics like blue eyes. A great way to remember the misconception is gamma. Genes are my many alleles.